Senator Ron Johnson was our guy in the Senate. It was told to me that when we push the information, he's going to push it in the halls of Congress.
Remember Lev Parnas? I interviewed Lev Parnas a couple weeks ago. Lev was Trump's henchman in Ukraine. Lev is the guy that was sent over to do the quid pro quo. Lev told us everything. And members of the House also wanted to hear from Lev. And yesterday, Lev Parnas testified before the House committee. And he made an incredible assertion that should be front page news everywhere. But you're not hearing about it on Fox News, that's for damn sure. Lev Parnas indicated we had Ron Johnson in the Senate. Now, let me explain this to you. What Lev Parnas alleges in the clip we're about to watch is that they were counting on, they knew that whatever sort of propaganda about Ukraine and Biden and whatever they could generate was going to be repeated by Ron Johnson in the Senate. That was their guy. Here's Congressman Maxwell Frost, a Democrat, asking questions of Lev Parnas. And here is Lev Parnas explaining the whole thing. This is just unbelievable stuff. Or is it? Or is it actually perfectly believable based on what we've seen over the last 8 years?
Authors of the Republican Burisma report would be your, quote, guy in the Senate to push all the information, end quote. What did you mean by that?
Senator Ron Johnson was our guy in the Senate. It was told to me that when we push the information, he's going to push it in the halls of Congress.
So when the media was getting skeptical about pushing disinformation after they've proven it wrong time and time again,
right?
The plan was to have a U.S. Senator, Ron Johnson, to push that disinformation even further.
Correct, because we had Congressman Nunes already doing it, so Senator Ron Johnson jumped on board.
This Congress, both Chairman Comer and Chairman Jordan, have centered this entire sham impeachment hearing on an FBI tip sheet. This tip sheet made wild claims about bribery that didn't even come close to being backed up. And in fact, it's all being proved to be one big lie. Mr. Parnas, is the allegation in the FBI tip sheet based on the same fabricated claims that Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani flew you to Ukraine to dig up?
Yes.
I also want to make it clear that the informant allegedly behind this tip sheet is facing criminal charges for lying about the Biden family and was a known fraud for years before that.
So listen, Republicans in these grand hearings that were going to show just how criminal of a person Joe Biden is had one of their main witnesses testifying from prison. They had testimony completely backfire as they continue to be unable to identify a single actual crime that Joe Biden even maybe committed. It's not even, oh, we don't have the proof. They don't even have a crime that they are able to cogently list. And then, by the way, Lev Parnas testifies that they had a Republican senator they could count on to spread Russian disinformation. This, by the way, is why Lev Parnas was not allowed to testify in that first impeachment hearing of Donald Trump. Think of how damaging this testimony would have been there. And so as Luke Beasley tweeted or put out on X, he put out an excretion on X. Luke said, you know, a sitting U.S. senator pushing Russian disinformation should be a bigger story than what shoes President Biden is wearing. And yet what Luke is referring to is that yesterday after this hearing, you could turn on Fox News and see them talking about how in order to help Biden not fall down, he's been wearing sneakers sometimes. Wow. What hard-hitting journalism, as Lev Parnas says, we were counting on Ron Johnson to spread Russian disinformation for us. This entire thing has collapsed. These are not serious people, and they are people who should pack up their stuff and never be involved in government again. Unfortunately, there are tens of millions of Republicans around the country who love these folks. They want to elect them again. Ron Johnson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you name them. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, or tens of millions in some cases of people who say, this is what I want representing me in Congress, in the Senate, in civil government. So as Jamie Raskin has now numerous times declared, this is the end of the entire impeachment thing, right? Right? Well, it should be, but it doesn't appear to be. They seem determined to continue. After the break, I will show you how all of this was wrapped up in a pathetic little box with a bow on Fox News. It probably won't shock you. Quick break, right back after this. Did you know there are hundreds of commercial databases and people search sites that hold your personal information, and the number is growing every year? Anyone in the world, boss and ex, can use these people search sites to see your online activity, to find your home address, phone number, email address, license plate number, family members, financial info, even your political beliefs. Europe has certain laws that protect people against this, but it is a big problem in the United States. The FBI is even buying this data from these companies to get private information about Americans without search warrants. And the solution is our sponsor, Incogni. It takes just moments to sign up. Incogni will send takedown notices to all of the major data broker companies to get your information removed from their databases, which they are legally required to do. And Incogni will keep you updated every step of the way with live information about who's complied, where is Incogni still working on it. Incogni will even send follow-ups and appeals on your behalf. Go to incogni.com/Pacman. You'll get 60% off with the code Pacman. The link is down below.